It started with my decision to make February break with my 3 children under 6 this year a staycation. Let's not travel this year, I told my husband confidently last fall, the warm winds of late October obscuring my memory of exactly what mid-February is like in suburban New York. We can explore all the winter fun that the East Coast has to offer. 6 days into our winter fun adventure, we'd been tubing. We'd taken an all-family ski lesson. We'd sustained hot chocolate-related injuries. We'd gone ice skating. We'd spent so many hours at the indoor playground listening to a CD of small children singing today's adult hits that I'd actually begun to believe that the lyrics of Uptown Funk were, "You're too hot, hot yeah, call the police and the fireman." We'd played so many rounds of Candyland that I'd begun palming the card with the ice cream bar to the top of the pile. Anything to get the game to end. By 4:30 that Friday, I was desperate enough to pile the kids into the car for a trip to Target, convinced that I could save myself from the dark, wintry hell I was living in with the purchase of enough plastic toys. It wasn't until I reached the store at 5 p.m. with 3 overstimulated and undernapped children in tow that I realized just how badly I had miscalculated. My 4-year-old son had immediately zoned in on a Batmobile Lego set that cost more than our monthly heating bill. My attempts to explain the subtle economics of the situation were drowned out by the DEFCON level 1 tantrum he was beginning, his car horn-esque wail gaining in volume as it echoed off the store's linoleum flooring. After a minute or two, his baby sister began shrieking in solidarity, and my 6-year-old son, sensing a moment of weakness on my part, began insisting that we head for the cereal aisle, where the solution to all the problems of his young life apparently lay in a box of something called Fruit Loops bloopers. The screams of my children, like a siren song, was attracting my fellow shoppers to the scene. They felt compelled to offer advice and insight. "You're having a bad day, huh, Mama? You think this is hard? Wait till they're teenagers." And the always helpful, "Back in my day, we could control our children." You know those listicles that are constantly circulating on social media? 18 things you should never say to a pregnant woman, 12 things you should be punched in the face for even thinking of saying to a mom of twins. These people had apparently never read any of those, especially not one called 46 Things You Should Keep to Your Fucking Self if you see a mom whose entire life is falling apart in aisle 9 of your local Target store. I was overcome by a strong urge to murder each of these bystanders in turn, but I lacked both the energy and the free hand, and so I resolved instead to flee. I somehow managed to encase all 3 of my children into a shopping cart and wheel it towards the checkout line with 2 books, a box of cereal, and a moderately priced Lego pickup truck in hand. The line snaked halfway into the children's clothing section, but I didn't have the heart to leave empty-handed, and so I prepared to wait it out. As we inched forward with unspeakable slowosity, I tried desperately to keep my children entertained. I swam goldfish into their mouths one by one, while making fun yet subdued fishy noises. I read aloud from our about-to-be-purchased copy of Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus in the quietest silly voice I could muster, all the time thinking to myself, every single one of my life choices up until this point has led me here and has been a mistake. Oh, kids, give me a break. No, please don't drop goldfish down that man's pants. He doesn't like that. I'm in hell. I'm in a retail purgatory from which I may never escape. Let's try the goldfish again, huh? No, you'd rather just punch each other in the face? Okay then. We finally reached the front of the line and secured our purchases. I limped for the exit doors, counting the minutes until school would start again, and genuinely hoping I could drink enough that evening to forget the entire day had ever happened. As I was trying to secure coats on the kids, I caught the eye of an elderly woman who'd we run across repeatedly throughout our shopping ordeal. I gave her an apologetic smile, but she walked up to me with a warm grin and touched my arm. "I just wanted to tell you," she said, "how nice it has been watching you all this time with your little ones. You are really a good mom for them, and I know how much they must appreciate you." Then she tapped the shoulder of her 60-something son, who was standing beside her holding their bags. "I wish I could tell you how fast it all goes," she says. "I miss it all, even these days. You'll get through it, and I know just from these few minutes of watching you that you are doing a really good job. Best day ever."